Welcome to Tips for Clips. Today, in just over 4 minutes, I'm going to show you the simplest way to give a skin fade. Here I'm closing the lever. It's in the short position. You're going to start out with your clippers, no clips, no guards attached. And this is probably the simplest step. You're just going to go up about midway, a little bit past midway, because we want this to be a high fade or a high mid fade. And you're just going to make a perfectly straight line across. And you're going to keep going over and over the same spots to make sure that there are no patches of hair left. You want to make sure it's perfectly smooth and even all throughout. Next, I'm going to put on guard number 1, also in the closed or short lever setting. I would recommend to go up about 3/4 of an inch to an inch. Go up slightly higher with this step than I am here. It'll make it a little easier. You're gonna see this step is actually gonna make a sort of headband around the head, and that's exactly what you want. You're gonna have an upper guideline and a lower guideline. After we have this in place, it's just gonna be a matter of getting rid of those two lines. That's all that's left to perfect our fade. And here you can see what I meant when I said you'd be creating a sort of headband. So in order to get rid of the top line, what I'm going to do is put on the number 2 clip in the closed lever setting. So far everything has been closed. And I'm just going to fade into the longest hair on top. So this is the first out of 2 steps for getting rid of that upper guideline. Above this step, you can always use the 3 guard or the 4 guard. But I don't need to use it here because his previous haircut was really similar and it's already short. The next step in getting rid of that upper line is taking the number 1 clip, but this time in the open lever setting. And I'm just gonna tug away slightly at that upper line and get rid of anything that's there. And you can see it's completely disappearing. After this step, all that's gonna be left is that lower line. But that upper line is totally taken care of now. Notice how I'm using the corner of my clippers here to pinpoint exactly which hairs I'm cutting so that I actually get rid of the line instead of creating a new line. Next, to get rid of the lower line, I'm going to take all clips off and I'm going to put the lever in the long position, the open position, and I'm going to start tugging away at that lower line. Don't go too high, you don't want to go past where you went with a lot of the other clips. Go up about 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 an inch. And you're going to want to just keep going to start lightening up that lower line. There's only going to be one more step after this to entirely get rid of the lower line. And it's going to be that simple to take care of the skin fade. So here I'm just going all around, trying to lighten that bottom line up. And you can see the fade is really starting to pull together nicely here. The last step we're going to do is I'm going to take the lever and put it midway. It's the first time we put it midway. And I'm just ever so slightly gonna go along that bottom line wherever I think that the line is not completely gone. Take your time on this step because you want the bottom line to fade out perfectly, but you don't want to create any more lines. I recommend using the corner of your clipper blade here in order to prevent making another guideline by accident. The last step then is to take your trimmers and shave underneath everything that you already did. So you want to go just under where you initially made your lower guideline. So just under where you did the absolute first step. And if you also have a shaver, you can use that to get even closer to the skin, and you'd use that just under where you're using the trimmer right now. So the goal here is just to clean up the side as much as you can. And I'm going to go ahead and shape up his beard as he requested. And to each customer, you can tailor it to whatever their personal requests are. And I'm just showing it here because it really pulls the haircut together. And just like that, in a few simple steps, we have ourselves a really nice skin fade. Here's a reminder of what we started out with, and here's the finished product. Give these tips a try and be sure to subscribe to receive other tips. Here are some of my other videos, be sure to check them out. And I want to give a special thank you to all my subscribers and all those who have been supporting this channel.